Hello, another video just from very cold winter forests of Finland. This is a video that many have asked now in the channel, so I thought I'd deliver. It has been really cold here in Finland, one of the coldest starts for the winter. I love it. So for me, like, it couldn't be better opening for a winter than this one. This is a video that I've been actually thinking of doing already like 2 months even, and now many have been asking this, so I thought what's better time than on a Friday afternoon to do this. So let's go ahead. So here are few knives that I brought with me. Well, more than a few, I guess, but these are few examples of knives that I bond with. So that was the premise of the video. So why do I bond with certain knives? Why don't I bond with certain knives, and what it means to me, and so a bit kind of my relationship with knives in general, my thoughts on qualities of knives that are important for me. So let's go ahead immediately with that. Let me start from the left. From the left I have here Old Martini. This I got from Lapland. We did a hunting trip winter of 96. Oh, there's some rust got in there. Okay. So Old Martini, I think the model is Jätkänvuolu. And this I fell in love with this knife immediately. I've been a kind of a knife lover ever since like early 90s, and I've owned many puukko's, but I just kind of loved this one. And the trip was kind of special for me. It was one of the first kind of winter hiking trips that I did. We went to the far north wilderness area of Muotkatunturi, which is one of my favorite places in Lapland. Nice trip. Also memories of my father, was also kind of a Lapland maniac a bit, and so it's kind of always was special for me, and it's it's held very nicely. So okay, there's rust and patina, but I could take this easily away and polish this and everything. And I don't use this knife anymore. This is just for me, like, has a special place in my collection. Simple knife, very inexpensive also, even at that days, like very good value. I use this as a hiking knife, use this as a fishing knife, as a carving knife, like on many fishing trips even, or fishing related hiking trips or whatnot. So it just had something. I like it's very lightweight. Like it how it feels on the hand. There's kind of a small finger, how do you say, finger groove, or this kind of place for the first finger. I don't know. I just liked how it fits in the hand. I like the pommel. Normally, there's some knives with this kind of pommel doesn't really. It's not maybe my favorite, but with this one it really works. So there's very nice balance. And it's really, I don't know, it's why do I carry this knife? It's just also, it has to do also with the fact that, for example, I took this immediately to many trips when I got the knife. So maybe there's the J. Martini logo, made in Lapland, this knife. And I guess it's also one thing about the knife bond is that, for example, this knife, I used it a lot immediately when I got it, because it was, at that time I was really really doing lots of hiking and lots of outdoor activities. So, and I bought the knife, and it was special already then. So I just kind of always took this with me, although I had many other puukko's, and I did use other puukko's, but mainly this one. So that's why, like, all those trips with this one kind of solidified my love for the knife, because it had a very good steel, in my opinion. I've really abused this knife, really, so batoned a lot with this one, and it just held. It just was like a very reliable puukko, and even still after like over 30 years of use, no movement here. I could easily use this knife again. So, and there like comes the bond. So first you like the knife, then you use it, and at one point I noticed, like, I just kind of have this feeling for this knife, because it almost like I saw so many trips with this knife. So there's it kind of it becomes like a companion for me, almost like a friend, because knife for outdoors, man, it's one of the most important tools you have. So maybe one could really kind of think it a bit as similar as like the old, like the knights of the medieval age, for example. They had a kind of special bond with the swords they had, and a symbolic meaning. So maybe one could even have this kind of, as an outdoor man, you have a certain bond with the blades, with the puukko's that you carry, and when with time you know the knife works, then the bond like solidifies even more, and then at the end you just kind of want to have the knife. You can't even think of selling the knife, and that's also something which I always done. So I buy knives, and I always kind of test them, but if I don't like them, if I don't feel the connection, I just sell them. So I've really sold many knives during my years, and I also do buy a lot of knives. I buy a lot of knives, and I sell a lot of knives away. But in between of this process, some knives always kind of stays. So just at one point, I just can't depart anymore from the knife. There's just too many, too much memories, and too reliable. It has this kind of becomes as a companion. Okay, but now I'm rambling. Let's go ahead. There's many knives to show. And by the way, there's many other puukko's that I have that are actually of the same age as this Martini, and I have even one Martini which is older, but those doesn't have the as great connection as that one. So just needed to say that. So these are just knives that I thought that I have something to say about. So there are lots of other knives that I quote unquote feel the connection, and I like the knives, but I chose these because I have a bit more to say about these. Yeah, so let's go ahead. This is Bushcraft Gunny. It's over, I think now almost 7-8 years of use, and this really has seen a lot of use. It was one point my most used knife in general. Many fishing trips, many hiking trips. Like this was at one point my favorite belt knife, like, period. So it was my EDC. And during all those trips and all those years of use, there's a bond with this one. I just never could sell this one, and it's one of the most reliable blades that I have. There's absolutely zero problems with the steel. Doesn't chip. Makes great feathers. CPM 3V steel. It's like the day I bought the knife. So it really is a great knife. I like how it feels in the hand. It locks in. There's just nothing to complain about this. So I feel the bond with this one, and I will never ever sell this knife away. And I like the clip point. They don't make this type of clip point model, I think, anymore. Yeah, it's a small big knife. It does a lot of things that the bigger knives do, but kind of nimble and lightweight. And also I need to add the sheets are also important in my opinion. So I've been ranting and raving also in the channel about importance of knife sheets, and this has a great sheet. So this is just, I don't need to worry this dropping, and after 7 years of use this is not going to drop anywhere. So great knife. And by the way, Bushcraft fans out there, I've been harsh towards Bushcraft. This is a prime example how they should do knives. So absolute perfection, the fit and finish. Okay, let's go ahead. The next one is a little bit of a it's a newer knife, one of my latest knives, LT Wright GNS. And this is interesting. With this knife I had this kind of the bond immediately. So remember, I bought the knife mainly based on the fact that I previously in the spring bought this LT Wright Large Northern Hunter, and that was my first LT Wright knife, and I was so impressed with that one. So when I saw this one second hand, I bought it in 1 minute really, so didn't think at all. It's a good price that I paid for this. And I don't know, even when I looked at the knife, I thought maybe it's not my style. I never owned this kind of a bush lore. Well, I guess I owned few this type of knives, but they weren't maybe my absolute favorite knife designed by looks, or so it was just a knife. It was LT Wright, so I had zero expectations of the knife really. Well, okay, some, because I thought it's probably going to be a good knife. It's LT Wright, but otherwise it was kind of a surprise for me. And then when I got it out from the box, I actually should have done a unboxing video of that, because I was so impressed. I haven't been that impressed with a knife, not often. So, and the main thing is the handle. And now we go to one really important fact with the Bond is the handle, in my opinion. And this is one of the most comfortable handles of all my knives. This is just perfection. It fits my hand like a glove. It's not too long. It's very nicely rounded. It's just absolute perfection. And this was the first thing that I just noticed was, god damn, I think I just said out loud like, okay, what the fuck, this is just amazingly comfortable. So this really adds. And then when you have a good heat treatment with the steel, I actually think this is very nice design. This kind of very pointy tip, very versatile blade in my opinion. Not too thick. I like LT Wright doesn't do too thick the blades. It's kind of lowish Scandi. I thought normally I like kind of higher Scandis, but with this one it works. So it does great feathers, great for batoning, like the 90 degree spine, beautiful fit and finish. Everything works. So with this one, I immediately kind of fell also in love with the GNS design. So I thought, okay, maybe I should have a saber grind version also of this one. So beautiful. And then also very nice the sheath. Let me show the sheath also. I think the sheaths are very important also. This comes with a good leather sheath, good retention, no issues. Okay, let's go ahead. The next knife, thought if I'm going to add this on the list, but yeah, I kind of wanted to have this also on the list because this was also a bit of a surprise for me. This is the Bushcraft Bravo 1.25, and yeah, this I thought it's going to be too thick. Firstly, so it was a bit of a question mark. This I also got second hand, and I got a nice deal with this one. And the main reason why I bought it was that this is kind of a bigger brother to the Gunny, and I like the Gunny, so I thought probably it's going to be also nice. It has similar handle. Yeah, very reliable blade. I've used this quite a bit as a camp knife and often in my garden. So I like to do like food prep, make fire there or whatnot. Even quite nice with food prep, yeah. And that's great feathers. My best knife for batoning. This is also one interesting thing. When I got the knife, I thought, okay, it's kind of expensive, has a nice steel, CPM 3V, but I didn't feel like, and this is one important thing, I feel like I want to use this knife. Immediately when I got the knife, I just, okay, I want to take this with me outdoors. Great to test this, and it has been a used knife. So this is also very important thing, of course, to create the bond. You don't create a bond with a knife if they sit in a vitrine. So they just sit in a drawer or some place. So with this one, I immediately want to test this, and it's one of those great one tool option knives for me. Yeah. So Bushcraft Bravo didn't have the best sheet in my opinion, so I changed the sheet to. Actually, this is the original sheet for the LT Wright Large Northern Hunter, and the Bravo fits there very nicely. Okay. Not going to sell that one away. So all of these knives, I'm not going to sell them. That's always a sign of having the bond. Okay, but the next one is undoubtedly on the list. This is the J.P. Peltonen Sissipukko M90 95 Ranger knife. What do I say about this? This is one of my most versatile blade. I was just thinking the other day, this and the LT Wright Large Northern Hunter coming next is my most versatile blade. It's of all my knives, it's one of those, how should I say, like knives that I want to take, or how should I say, from all my knives, it's maybe the most like no-nonsense knife. So if I'm in a rush and I want to go, I know I'm going to be 3 hours outdoors, I don't know specifically what I'm going to do, maybe even just skiing or going snowshoeing or something like 2 to 3 to 4 hours, I very often grab this one. So it's just, it's not too heavy on the belt, it just does everything I want a knife to do, period. It's just really great. It's maybe not the best with feather sticks, but it does those very well. You can carve with this one. Great for batoning, has extra length, good handle. So yeah, it's kind of one tool, definitely a one tool option. Has even this kind of survival, like how do you say, tactical self-defense mode if you want. So this is definitely on the list. So of all my knives, maybe the most like no bullshit. I grab this, and the thing is that I don't need to worry about the knife. I don't need to worry if the knife is going to drop. It's not going to drop. I don't need to worry if it's going to do what the hell I want to do with the knife. Be it even opening a fish or hunting or making fire or everything. It just does everything. And so it's all my knives, maybe this kind of, it's very reliable. So if I have it on the belt, I don't need to second guess. So if I picked the right knife, this is always a good choice. And then this knife, one of my most used knives of the year, LT Wright Large Northern Hunter. It is my most versatile blade with Sissipukko. Immediately when I got the knife, I also had this feeling of I want to use this. So this was in many fishing trips, many outdoor tasks this has seen. It's a great belt knife, not too heavy, fits the hand very nice. You can have many different positions with this one. You can check the reviews. This is just, it does amazing food prep. So it's extremely slicey, but then again, dust the feathers. You can baton with this. Again, LT right, nice, the 90-degree spine, fit and finish perfect. So this was also a knife that I felt the connection immediately, and it hasn't faded away. So I'm really waiting for the spring time when the fishing season starts. I'm definitely going to take this one with me. Now in the winter, it's kind of resting a bit, so it has its well-deserved rest. And also actually use this even as during mushroom foraging trips. So this is really a great one. And it came with a very nice sheath, but I kind of played around with my other sheets, and I noticed that this is actually, wait a second, the Brisa Nesmuk sheet fits even better with this one. So this is the Brisa Nesmuk Bushcrafter sheet, and this has a gorgeous, the retention not going to drop anywhere. So great knife, great all-arounder, great versatile blade. Okay, let's go ahead. And this is interesting. This is the Brisa Gebhardt, and also one of those knives that I felt the connection immediately. Also to do with the fact that the handle is such a great one. So comfortable, simple but yet comfortable. It's got walnut, scales, brass pins, red liners. It has an overall fantastic balance. So it's very lightweight actually for the size. You can do a lot of these things with this one. So I've batoned with this one. I've done a lot of things with this one. So great knife. But I really should now start to go home because my actually battery is out. I will actually continue with the rest of the two knives at home because my battery is actually out. It's so damn cold here. So sorry. I will keep this video intact, but I will just add the rest knives in my garden. Sorry about this. Yeah, sorry. It's so damn cold here. The battery went out. So continuing here from my house. Also, I forgot a few knives that I actually wanted to show also. So we'll add a few knives here. I actually want to continue a little bit with the Gebhardt. Those few points that I want to make. Gebhardt design is interesting. It's when I got the knife, I thought, am I going to use this? It's not my like normal bushcraft style in a million years, so I'm used to Scandi grinds and whatnot. The thing with this one was that immediately when I had the knife in my hand, I just thought it's so nice, the balance. And the balance is one of the key points for me for creating a bond with the knife. It definitely has a nice balance. And the handle, like I said, extremely comfortable, extremely nimble. And also when I got the knife, this was also, I wanted to use this. I wanted to test this. And I didn't actually know for what purpose I'm going to use this because it's not, let's say, a fishing knife or a hunting knife. So I just didn't know. But in the first year when I used this knife, I realized that this is actually great autumn knife for me. And the point is that this is so slicey. It's one of the most slicey outdoor blades. It's great with mushrooms. So this has been really now one of my most used blades in autumn. So maybe even more precise, like early autumn, when I forage some large mushroom species. So then this is a nice knife then to have, because then it also does feathers. You can baton with this. It's actually quite robust. It's actually one of the worst knives for feathers that I have but it does those anyway. So, but it's one of those knives that when the foraging season is on, so it starts from like early July to as long as end of November. But in the early months, this is very nice blade then to have as an EDC when I'm out of the woods. So if I want to prepare fire, if I want to do bushcrafting things, I can use it for that. But it also has the ability to really be nice with mushrooms. So because there's often trips that I'm not really focusing that much on foraging, but I'm always kind of, if I'm out in the woods, I see nice mushrooms, I just want to pick them. So that's kind of, it's out there at these months of the year. So that's why this has been now in 2 years one of my main like autumn knives. Now in the winter, not so much use, but next summer definitely. And if I want to do some food prep, it's a great one. And also after 2 years of use, great the retention of the sheet. Well, not maybe great, I could force it out, but it sits quite deep and nicely there, so no issues. Then another Brisa actually I wanted to mention, this Brisa Nesmuk. Also not maybe like optimal knife in paper and not even by design, a bit like the Kephart. But I just kind of fell in love with this one, and now have used this, I think 7 years or something. It's very reliable blade, and this is really adds to the bond with the knife. So this is also a knife that if I have it on, just know I can do a lot of things with this one. It doesn't have the pointy tip, so not optimal for opening a fish or something like this, but very, very sturdy. Great the steel with this one. It's great. It's really good carving. Great woodwork knife. So great bushcrafting knife all in all. Actually not that bad with food prep either. It's Nesmuk style. I like the curvy blade. Here also the balance is fantastic in my opinion. So this is very heavily focused on the blade. So like blade heavy. But this adds kind of very nice. It's very light on the hand, and for this type of blade, it's really great. If you have a very large hand, this is going to be a bit short. The handle, I feel it's a bit short. It could be better. I think the new version they have with the lanyard hole also probably is a bit longer the handle, and it's just a bit better. But I continue using this, never will sell this. This has been in so many trips with me, yeah, so reliable blade. Yeah, it's just a great one. Also, good sheet, not the best of all, but never had any issues. So, these were the two Brisa knives, then two Pukkos. Silly of me, I forgot to bring the Tommy Pukko with me. This is of course on this video. This is one of those knives that I just fell in love with like instantly. Like almost like ultimate Pukko for me. And also with all these knives, it's about the usability. So it's about like, do you want to take it out with you? And with many knives, I just have this feeling immediately when I have them in the hand, just, I want to use them. And this was one of those, because this is so great with woodwork. It's just maybe my best knife of all with woodwork, probably is, and best with feather sticks and everything. And also looks nice, so that is one one important thing also, so how the knife looks. But I wouldn't say it's the most important, definitely not. So like I said, like handle, the steel, the grind, the balance, all those things comes first for me, because I just the bond I create with the knife comes with the use, like I said. But with this, I already have this kind of, I'm never gonna sell this knife away. But then it's nice looking also, so that is nothing to scoff about also. I don't know if that's the right expression, but yeah, Tommy Pukko has been in so many videos. You can check the reviews, but great knife. Also the custom made knives, it kind of adds to the connection also. But if I wouldn't like them, I would sell them immediately. So I'm not harvesting knives that much. So if I don't like them, I just sell them away. Yeah, and this is the same with this one. This is the Puukko by Kari Saastamoinen, gorgeous looking knife, but just this and the GNS may be the most comfortable handles of all my knives. This is so comfortable, the birch bark, and it's interesting. It's a bit it's nice, the idea that it goes quite thin here towards the blade, and then here on the back is a bit of a larger part, and this gives extreme control of all the knives. Maybe this and the Tomi Puukko has the best control that I have with woodwork. So with this knife I definitely feel the connection already, and not going to sell this one. And once again, the sheath adds to the overall feel. A great leather sheath, one of the most pretty, very simple but extremely sturdy. Everything done so nice, and this is not going to drop in a million years. So this adds to the usability. So and the usability is the key word also. Although this can't be much more prettier than knife, but it's a use knife for sure. I love this. Yeah, and few honorable mentions, I guess. So this I haven't actually used that much, which is a shame because I love this knife. This is the Orjärvi Puukko by Fiskars. Never in a million years I'm going to sell this one. Gorgeous knife, and very, very comfortable in the hand, and lovely with woodwork. A knife that I could definitely... With this I haven't really... Maybe it shouldn't be in this video because I haven't really created the bond with this one yet, so I haven't actually used that too much, but I have so much knives so I can't use them all. But this has all the attributes of being like a high use knife. And then last but not least, this Fellkniven Embla that I just got. Interesting because when I saw the knife I thought this is not going to be that much, you know, is it going to be a used knife? Wasn't really sure, but this is a nice blade. So this is really one of those knives that I want to take out with me immediately, but I haven't really yet created a bond. But I really think that I'm not going to sell this one. It's very nice balance, great with all sorts of tasks, and nice feathers, and also fantastic the sheath, by the way. This is great this package. Okay, but this was just my take on the matter. There's many knives that I left out, of course. These were just the blades that I thought I have most to say. But maybe the bottom line is that the handle is very important. So handle, then the balance, then the steel. For me, even the handle surpasses the steel because I can just, doesn't need to be always super steels and whatnot. So at least when the heat treatment is done right. So the handle, balance, steel, also the sheath is important. Then how the knife looks, that is also important. And with all those factors, how much are you going to use the knife? So already, for example, with the GNS, the handle is so comfortable. I just wanted to take out that knife all the time because it's just so pleasure to use that one. So, and with the use, you create the bond, and then you use the knife. You see it works. It's a reliable blade, and then during the years you create the bond, and sometimes even like half a year or something with some knives. But yeah, that's just my take on the matter, and have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you later.